Assalamualaikum and good morning, students. How are you feeling today?
Waalaikumsalam. Good
Good
morning,
teacher.
teacher.
Good
Good.
teacher.
Glad to hear that. Hope you are in a good condition. Have you taken your breakfast?
Yes.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Alright, so for those who ever eat your breakfast, you can do so while attending my class, okay? So before we start our class, I would like to remind you the do's and don't in my class. So please open your camera because I want to see your beautiful face and just unmute your microphone whenever you have a questions. Stay focused during my class and please be actively participate, especially when I ask you a question. So for today's lesson, we will move to the new chapter which is acid, base and salts. But for today's, we will be focusing on how to identify acid and alkali. So are you ready, student?
Yes.
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 Wow, looks so energetic. Alright, so as you guys can see on my right hand side, it is a vinegar and my left hand side, it is a toothpaste. So what do you think? Which one is acid and which one is alkali?
I think vinegar is acid, while toothpaste is alkaline.
Alright, correct, Aini. So vinegar is an acid and toothpaste is an alkali. So how to identify between these two? Does anyone know?
I don't know, teacher.
Okay, so today we will learn how to identify acid and alkali. So, for the learning outcome for today's class is at the end of the lesson, students should be able to identify acid and alkali. And at the end of the lesson, students should be able to list three types to identify acid and alkali. So, the first way how to identify alkali and acid is the role of water. So based on Arrhenius theory, acid can show its properties in the presence of water. So as you guys can see in this picture, when acid dissolves in water, it will produce hydrogen ion. So what is alkali? Alkali is when the substance ionized in water, it will produce hydroxide ion. For example, when sodium hydroxide, which is NaOH, ionized in water, it will produce hydroxide ion that move freely in water. So, are you still with me, students?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Alright, so we will move to the second ways how to identify acid and alkali. So, you can see this video.
If I take
If I
the red
take the red
litmus
litmus
paper
paper
and put it
and
into
put it
lemon
into
juice,
lemon
which we
juice,
know
which
is
we
an
know is
acid,
an acid,
we can
we
see
can
that the
see
red
that the
litmus
red litmus
paper
paper
remains red.
remains red.
Therefore,
Therefore,
it is an
it is an
acid.
acid.
However,
However,
if we put the
if we
blue
put the blue
litmus paper
litmus
in,
paper in,
and
and
remember the
remember
blue
the
remained
blue
blue in a
remained blue in a
phase,
phase,
this time
this time
the blue
the blue
litmus
litmus
paper
paper
goes
goes
red.
red.
Alright, so after you see this video, what you can say? Anyone?
Acid is changing the blue litmus paper to red.
Yes, it's true, Fatin. So I bet some of you might be confused based on the changes of the litmus paper. But don't worry because all you need to remember is this acronym, which is D Sambal Kali, which is M is for red and B is for blue. And the arrow indicate the color changes. For example, when red is changed to the blue litmus paper, it is alkali, and when the blue changed to the red litmus paper, it is acid. Alright, so the last step to identify is the pH value. Acid is the substance that has pH value lower than 7 and alkali have pH value greater than 7. So what do you think pH 7 is and what is the example?
Substance with pH 7 is natural, such as water.
Yes, it's true, Fairuz. Alright, so let's move to the next part, which is activity session. So are you ready, student?
Yes.
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 Alright, so for the first question, which one is the correct definition for acid? Any volunteer to answer this question?
Me, teacher. So
Alright,
the
so
answer for this question is on the left side.
Alright, good Steffi. So, acid is substance that ionize or dissolve in water will produce hydrogen ion. Alright, so let's move to the next question. Okay, so based on the statement below, what is X? X is substance that when tested with pH paper, it shows that the value is greater than 7. So, any volunteer?
Me, teacher.
Alright.
It is an alkali.
Yes, absolutely true. Alright, so let's move to the last question, which is alright, so identify which one is acid based on the changes of litmus paper.
Me,
So,
teacher. The answer is the left one is alkali and the right one is acid.
yes, good job, Aini. Alright, so are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Alright, so good. Since you answer all the question true, I think you are really understand for today's topic. So we will go to the last part, which is conclusion. So can I have someone to give a very short summary for today's lesson?
Me, teacher.
Okay, fine.
Acid and alkali can be identified based on three ways, which is role of water, pH, and changing of litmus paper.
Alright, good Fairuz. Okay, so acid and alkali can be identified based on the role of water, pH value, and changing of litmus paper. So for the role of water, acid will produce hydrogen ion and alkali will produce hydroxide ion when it is ionized in water. For the pH value, acid have lower than 7 and for the alkali, it has a greater than 7. So for the last part is you need to remember this sambal kali, which is shows that when the red litmus paper turns to blue, it is alkali, and when the blue turns to red, it is acid. So I think it is end of our lesson for today. But before that, I want to give you a homework, which is you need to create a mind map and send it through our WhatsApp group. Okay? So is there any question?
No, teacher.
No.
Teacher.
Alright, so thank you for attending and participating in my class today. So see you when I see you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.